G'day guys, my name is Trent, aka Lax Slime, bringing you week 6 of the PGL. We are up against the New York Klinks, or Pup C. His link will be in the description below. He's actually got quite a threatening team, but I've come so prepared this time because the last 2 weeks when I haven't been so prepared, I've got completely obliterated. It was pretty embarrassing. But this turned out to be a really good battle, so we will get straight into it. When picking leads to this battle, I really thought that he was going to lead with Garchomp. I just had this feeling, so I just went a bit risky and led off with Keldeo. An Icy Wind does like a decent chunk of damage to the Garchomp, like 80%, so I was pretty happy just to click that button. I was gonna try to make a prediction of the Surf, but it was a bit too early to make predictions on the first turn. So he does bring in his new, he does get a bit of a speed drop there, which is nice. I am Assault Vested, so I knew I was going to be able to take one turn, but I really thought that Surf would do a lot more. As I said, Assault Vested, so I was able to live the Psychic, but I'm not going to stay around for that, and my best bet is to actually go into Rachi. Rachi is actually my, it's just my screen setter, really. The reason why I brought screens to this battle is because of that Talonflame. It can do a lot of damage, and the Scizor as well, so I sort of figured if I'm able to get some screens up, I sort of prevent, being set up on, and as well as that Talonflame coming in and just ruining my day. So I easily just set up the Stealth Rocks on that because I figured that he was going to switch out because you can't really touch me too much. And then also get both the screens up. Now this is especially defensive Jirachi, and it's not taking any damage from anything really at all. He does make his switch into Scizor. I'm not really too scared of Scizor because I know Entei can pretty much just annihilate Scizor in any way. Like, yeah, Entei just ruins Scizor. So I'm not concerned whatsoever. I am actually running a Specs Entei with, I think it was Flower. I can't really remember all of its moves, but it's yeah, it's Specs, and it's got coverage moves for pretty much every mon on his team, as well as Hidden Power Grass, just to take out that Gastrodon in the back. Hopefully he's not going to expect that, but really like the Gastrodon. I didn't want to go for the Hidden Power Grass straight away because I sort of figured that it'd be too obvious, and he'll know it's coming later on when he wants to make a switch. So I was happy for him to go into the Garchomp, but I know like it doesn't do anything, but fortunately I get the burn, which really helps because a burn Garchomp with Reflect Up does nothing to anybody. I go into Sableye here at this point, so I can just set up my Mega Evolution. This Sableye is really just sort of a pivot as well. It's just it's there to really take attacks from the Talonflame. I got a Diancie, and Diancie actually puts a lot of work in his team as well. However, I didn't bring it because I thought it would be over expected. I find that when someone predicts something so much that they bring a lot of stuff to try to take it out, so I just wanted to sort of mix it up a little bit. He is carrying the Rocky Helmet, so I get actually a decent amount of damage from that from the knockoff I went for there. But I'm just going to go for the Recover on this turn, because if I can just recover up, then I'm back at full, and Sableye's sitting pretty really, and Garchomp is going to go down to the burn on this turn. So I'm in a good position. I've taken out one of his Pokemon. I'm barely taking any hits on mine, so I'm happy with where I am. I have to switch out here because Sableye ain't going to survive anything from this, and I'm best bet just to go into the Rachi because it can just sort of take any move that he goes for, like this Dazzling Gleam does absolutely nothing. I knew he was going to switch out because he's not going to want to take an Iron Head, so I can sort of set up the screens. It actually worked out really perfectly that the light screen ran out on that turn, so I can pretty much just pop it straight back up. I'm a little bit scared at this point that he's going to go Sword Dancing on me again, so I decided to switch out straight away and just go into Entei just to sort of prevent him from getting a free hit on anything. And this is sort of the perfect point for me to actually go for that Hidden Power Grass because he can't switch into anything that sort of resists the fire now, so except for Gastrodon. So he's sort of forced to switch into Gastrodon at this point, and I can just Hidden Power Grass him, and that means Gastrodon is out of the park. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Gastrodon sort of would have really prevented me from putting in a lot of work. So as long as I got the Gastrodon and the Garchomp out of the way, it looks like they were his sort of defensive Pokemon, and everything else was offensive. So by getting rid of both of them, I'm looking really good. I know the Talonflame's still in the back, so I'm a little bit scared about that still, but I decided to go on the Sableye at this point because I know a knockoff is going to be able to kill. I was a little bit scared that he carried the Dazzling Gleam, but if he mustn't if he switched out. He does go back into the Scizor at this point, and I'm okay with that because I've got Will-O-Wisp on Sableye, so I'm just gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp on the next turn. I do go for the knockoff just to get some sort of chip damage off. Like, damage is still damage, and but still that Bug Buzz does a decent chunk of damage. I'm able to get the Will-O-Wisp up, and that's perfect because now Scizor's pretty much I can stall him out basically and try to pretty much he's not a threat anymore. I do go on the Raichu because he semi-resists most of his attacks. So as he decides to go for the Roost, I was sort of okay with this because he's going to dwindle down with the burn anyway eventually, and it sort of gives me an opportunity to start setting up some reflects and light screens and all of those things to sort of prevent him from doing too much. The reason why I really brought reflect on this is because I can sort of get the reflect up, and Talonflame only does like 50% to most of my team after that with the Brave Bird. So I thought that was sort of my best option to get rid of Talonflame, because I was like, when I was building this team, it was the biggest thing that I was sort of worrying about, because you just come in and hit Brave Bird and you'll win, which is super annoying. I do switch into Entei here, which is a little bit risky. If he went for an attack, I probably would have went down, but I sort of figured he was going to go for a Sword Dance or a Roost or something like that, so I thought I'd jump in. And I know I outspeed with Entei as well because I put enough EVs in it to be able to outspeed majority of his team. He does go switch into Togekiss here, and it takes a hell of a lot of damage from rocks as I just go for the Flamethrower because it was the safest play I've got. It will take out the Togekiss, so I am really happy about that. And he decides to go into the Mew here. It depends what the Mew's running here. He potentially outspeed me, so I actually decided to switch out because I wanted to conserve the Entei around to get rid of the Scizor, because I thought that was pretty important. I do bring in the Raichu here just to take whatever move he's going to take, and this Surf does piddly nothing, and so does the Psychic, because I think it's 2 times resisted. I'm able to just go on for the Iron Head, and I know that's going to be able to take out Mew, which is super easy. So he's only got his Scizor and Talonflame left at this point, which is still threatening enough. But I've got enough Mons, even if the what's it called, the Talonflame comes in, he'll die from recoil because I've got the rocks up. So yeah, it's all right. So the Scizor is getting dwindled down, and I'm just going to go for some Iron Head flinches. I know it's a bit of a jerk move, but I'm okay with that. Which is, yeah, I do get super annoyed when I get flinched, so I can understand. I should have, I went for the Reflect on that turn actually, but he did go for the Bullet Punch, which took me out, so that was a little bit disappointing. But that's all right. Like, I would have likely reflect around for the Talonflame, but that's cool. I do go in the Staraptor here and just click the Brave Bird button basically to get rid of it, just to, I don't know, just so Staraptor does something, I guess. This is sort of where, like, I think I was 5-0 at this point, when the Talonflame came in. I knew after the rocks, I'd probably have to sacrifice a couple of Mons to be able to take down the Talonflame, because I can't obviously hit it. I do have a question. If anyone can tell me, I realise now that I had Tailwind on the Staraptor. If I went for a Tailwind, would that mean I would have outsped the Gale Wing for the Talonflame? I don't know, and I tried to look it up, but I couldn't really find anything. Yeah, but if you guys know, let me know, because if I went for the Tailwind, I probably could have avoided being, like, losing at least another 3 Mons there, or 2 Mons. So that would have been nice, but yeah, it didn't work out that way. So I had to sack off Dragalge there because it had full HP. I was a little bit sad about that because I actually made a really weird Dragalge to try out. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want to bring it to another battle, so no one can predict it. But it would have been really cool if I could get it in and get it to work. It would have been really fun. It may have been very conditional for his team, but it would have been really fun. So yeah, I ended up taking that battle. I think it turned out to be a 3 or a 2-0 in the end, but I'm happy with the win, because the win actually puts me back up the top of the Alpha conference I'm in. So yeah, thanks for the battle, mate. It was really good. And if you did enjoy, you can always, leave a like if you're inclined, but you don't have to. And you know what? That's pretty much all from me. So I will catch you guys next time.